Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start with Julius Caesar. Now, Julius Caesar is both in class 9 and in class 10 for ICSE students. In class 9, we're going to study Act 1 and Act 2, and in class 10, the other three acts, that is, from Act 3 to Act 5. So, before we start Julius Caesar, I just want to give you an introduction to this whole play, or moreover, a summary to this whole play, okay? So that you understand what's the main concept of the play, and then we'll carry on with act by act, scene by scene. Done? So now, Julius Caesar is one of the most prominent plays written by William Shakespeare. It's actually a biography. Now, why it's called biography? Because it was based on the assassination of Julius Caesar in 44 BC. Okay, Julius Caesar was first performed. That is, it was a play that was performed. When was it first performed? It was first performed in 1590. Shakespeare took the basic material from a book called The Lives of Noble Greeks and Romance. This was written by Plutarch and it was published in 1579. Now, before we go to the main summary, let's go through the main characters that are present in Julius Caesar. So, when we start the character chart, the first name that comes is actually Julius Caesar. Okay, now, who was this Julius Caesar? Julius Caesar was a great Roman general and senator who recently returned to Rome in triumph after a successful military campaign against Pompey. He comes home to a huge welcome in Rome. That's how the play starts. Now, next character is Mark Antony. Mark Antony is Julius Caesar's close friend and companion. Next, we come to Marcus Brutus. Marcus Brutus was a Roman noble who was the one who stabs Julius Caesar. He was the last one amongst others who stabbed him. Now, we come to Cassius, main villain of the play. He is the main villain of the play. He was behind the plotting of the assassination of Julius Caesar. Next is Calpurnia. Calpurnia is wife of Julius Caesar, and her role is minor over here, uh, not a great role as in other plays of Shakespeare. We have seen that some women characters are much important in other plays of Shakespeare, like in Merchant of Venice we've seen the character of Portia. Okay, so Calpurnia is a minor role over here. And also next, Portia is wife of Brutus. She too also holds a minor role over here. So the main characters are Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, Marcus Brutus, Cassius, Calpurnia, and Portia. There are other characters also, but these are the main characters. Now I'll give you a brief summary of the whole play so that when we go through the scenes, it becomes easier for y'all to understand that what happened actually and what is going to happen. Okay, so let's start. Now, the basic story of Julius Caesar actually revolves around the assassination of the Roman general and statesman Julius Caesar. Okay, so his assassination, this is the main basic story. Shakespeare's play depicts the political intrigue and violence that leads to Caesar's death on the Ides of March. Ides of March is 15th of March, and we are going to discuss about this later. Okay, what is Ides of March? All those things we're going to discuss afterwards. Now, driven by concerns about Caesar's growing power and ambition, a group of conspirators, including Caesar's friend Brutus, stabs him. So, what happens? Now, everybody thinks that Caesar is becoming too much ambitious. This ambition of Caesar would not be good for the people of Rome. That's why they hatches a plot to assassinate Caesar, and Brutus, who was friend of Caesar, okay, he too also participates in this assassination. Now Cassius, who is the main, I've already told that Cassius is the main villain. Cassius manipulates Brutus and others to join in the conspiracy. And Caesar, when he comes, the scene opens like this in Act One, that when he's coming when he's coming back after a triumphant win, he was actually warned by a soothsayer that he should not go out on the Ides of March, that is on 15th of March. But Caesar does not listen to the soothsayer. Neither does he listen to California, and he goes out because he thinks that his going out is much more important than listening to some superstition. Okay? Casca is the first one to stab Caesar, and Brutus is the last one. Now, while the conspirators are hatching this plan, Mark Antony, who was a close friend of Caesar, he is being distracted by the conspirators so that he does not come to know about the plan. And in the meantime, Caesar is being assassinated. Caesar dies after saying, "It too, brute." Now, this is a very important line because we'll discuss about this also later. But let me tell you in short, it means that "you too, Brutus." This line actually, these three words actually, it symbolizes betrayal because Caesar could not think also that Brutus could have betrayed him. So that's why it's so important. Okay. Now, next in Act 3, Brutus explains his action. He said that Caesar was ambitious. The public who were present, Brutus started explaining his actions in public. Okay, and the public praises Brutus because he was a powerful orator, and a powerful orator can make public believe in him. Then Mark Antony comes into the scene. Okay, this is a very important scene. He now sways the public by his speech. He manipulates the public by his speech. Now, this speech is the best speech by Shakespeare and most important. Okay, he reminds the crowd of Caesar's generosity, and then he shows them the wounds of Caesar. He emotionally manipulates the crowd. The crowd gets restless after listening to the fact that every Roman will receive 75 drachmas, that's a silver coin, upon Caesar's death as per his will. The crowd turns chaotic. So, Mark Antony was able to sway the public against Brutus this time. Next, Brutus and Cassius have an argument. Why? Because Brutus is feeling emotionally low. His wife Portia has committed suicide. When Brutus sleeps, Caesar's ghost meets him. Now, this is something. Now, let me tell one thing. Let me explain. The ghost is a favorite trope of Shakespeare's plays, as also you'll see in Macbeth. That's in class 11, 12. Okay. So, now, one other thing, why? Why is he seeing ghosts? Because in his mind, in his heart, he has a guilty conscience. Okay, so this conveys mentally disturbed mind of Brutus. Brutus now feels guilty. Now, battle begins. Civil war begins. Cassius and Brutus know they will be defeated, but they do not want to be led through Rome in chains. So they kill themselves. They don't want to be dragged in the road of Rome. Okay, so they kill themselves. Antony at last praises Brutus as a brave man because he is not fully a black man as Cassius. Now, what do I mean by black man? Black man means he's full of guilt. Okay, he's full of sins. So, Antony thinks that Brutus was not so much of a black man as Cassius. Cassius was a full black man. Now, one thing is that is how the play ends. And one thing that the whole play actually conveys to us, you can say the moral, okay, of Julius Caesar, is that what happens in this life, you have to pay for that in the same life. Themes of the play Julius Caesar. What are the themes? First, the theme is friendship. Friendship of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Okay, now that's more clearly to be seen in the whole play. Betrayal, the second theme. Betrayal of Brutus. We have already heard it to Brute. Okay, revenge, political conspiracy. Now there is a political conspiracy in the whole play. Superstition and prediction. Okay, we'll go through something like the soothsayer saying about the Ides of March, and so Shakespearean belief of superstition. This is also a theme. And also ghost. At the end, Caesar's ghost appears. Okay, so ghost is also a theme. Now, let me give you a detailed breakdown of the historical context. Okay, what is the historical background of Julius Caesar? Okay, so the first thing is the Roman Republic. The play is actually set during the waning years of the Roman Republic, a period marked by political instability and power struggles between the Senate, the wealthy elites, and ambitious military leaders like Caesar. Next, what happens? Caesar's rise to power. Caesar, a brilliant military leader, had conquered vast territories in Gaul and returned to Rome as a victorious general. He had significant power, leading to fears that he would become a dictator and overthrow the public. Next, we come about the Ides of March. What happened in the Ides of March? The assassination of Caesar on March 15, 44 BC. This is a pivotal event in the play and in Roman history. The conspirators, including Brutus and Cassius, believed they were acting to protect the republic from tyranny. Okay. Next, we just see the aftermath. What happens after Caesar's death? So, following Caesar's death, the play explores the ensuing political chaos, the rise of Mark Antony, and the civil war that erupted between the conspirators and Caesar's supporters. Okay, so in essence, Julius Caesar actually provides a dramatic and compelling account of a turbulent period in Roman history, exploring themes that continue to resonate with audiences even today. Okay, so even today, you can relate to this political hustle and the turbulence that is being carried on all through the play. Okay, so, and one other thing is that Shakespeare at last just shows the nature of justice. Okay, so justice, how justice is being given, that's also is shown over here. Now, and another thing is that the play resonates with the political anxieties of Elizabethan England, where Queen Elizabeth I's long reign was drawing to a close. Okay, so the play's exploration of tyranny and civil war likely strike a chord with the audience's fears of instability. Okay, so this is about the historical background, nothing more. And from the next video, okay, we are going to start Julius Caesar scene by scene. Okay, detailed explanation of Julius Caesar scene by scene. Hope you liked my video, and if you liked it, please subscribe it. Good day for today.